Hi, everyone. Let me ask you something really quickly. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home in Citrus County this year, do you actually know what the market is doing right now? Or are you relying on headlines and advice that's already outdated? Because here's the truth. We're not in a boom, but we're certainly not in a crash. We're in what I call a think-in market, and the people who understand that are the ones who are going to be winning in 2026. So today I'm going to break down exactly what's happening in the Citrus County real estate market and what the numbers really mean, and how buyers and sellers should be adjusting their strategy right now. My name is Anne Marie Bortz. I'm a local real estate agent, been practicing real estate for 25 years, and I'm here to let you know exactly what's going on in the county. And as an additional feature, I'm going to be highlighting two of the most popular subdivisions in Citrus County to get more specific and dive in deeper, and those will be Black Diamond and Citrus Hills. So stay tuned and let's get started. So after years of chaos and bidding wars and emotional decision making, the Citrus County market has officially shifted. We're sitting at about 7 months of inventory, which means it puts us squarely in a balanced market that favors neither buyer nor sellers. If you recall, during the pandemic, we were in a seller's market. We had very low inventory and more buyers. And so the pendulum, so to speak, was skewed towards the seller side. We're no longer in that market. So that changes everything. Buyers now have options. They're comparing homes. They're negotiating. They're taking their time to make a decision. Sellers, on the other hand, are now competing, not just listing and waiting. This is no longer a price it and they will come market. It is a strategy market. What we need to understand here is that prices are correcting. They are not crashing. One of the biggest fears I'm hearing with my clients are prices crashing? And the answer is no. What we're seeing is a healthy correction, low single-digit adjustments after the extreme run-up of 2021 and 2022. So your equity has not vanished, but pricing accuracy matters more than ever. For sellers, this means overpricing is no longer forgiven. Your property will sit on the market, as I mentioned, because buyers have more options. And for buyers, it means you're no longer forced to overpay just to win and get a property. Another major shift is homes are taking longer to sell. I think everyone has noticed that. A few years ago, homes were going under contract in 30 days or less. Today, we're closer to 60 days or more. And that doesn't mean buyers have disappeared. What it means are buyers are smarter. Homes that sell are the ones that get three things right: pricing from day one, professional presentation, and a strong marketing strategy. Homes that miss those steps, they're just sitting. We can no longer rely on 2D photos to sell property. Presentation means more than just professional photos. We need to see 360 tours. We need to see video tours and real paid social media marketing. Remember, a lot of the buyers from this area or that are coming into this area are from outside of the area, whether that be Tampa or another state or even South Florida. So you have to engage a buyer by these other means to get them to spend the money it's going to take to come up and look at your property. And if you're interested in selling your home in the Citrus County area, I would ask you to visit my website, findhomesofocala.com. Buyers didn't leave. They just got smarter. Here's a misconception I'm hearing all the time. Inventory's up, so buyers must be gone. That's just not true. Hundreds of homes are still going under contract every month in Citrus County. Buyers are just viewing more homes, they're doing their inspections, they're negotiating repairs, and they're protecting their money. So the right homes, priced well and marketed well, are still selling. What I remind my sellers are the same information that I come to your home with when I present you with the pricing strategy for your home is the same information buyers are getting from their agents. So remember, price your home well and market it well, and your home will sell. And a real quick pause here. If you're finding this video helpful, make sure you like video and subscribe. But more importantly, if you're a homeowner or a buyer in Citrus County and you want to know how these numbers apply to your specific situation, I've got a link in my YouTube channel where you can request a custom market analysis. So no pressure, just real data for your property or price range. Mortgage rates are another big piece of this puzzle. We've come down from the high sevens and even 8% territory, and we're now seeing rates in the mid 6% range. So that shift matters. It increases buying power, it brings buyers back to the market, and it creates opportunity right now. Waiting for rates to drop further means more buyers and more competition when they do. How do we find out what's actually selling? Here's a statistic that most people don't understand: absorption rate. In Citrus County, every 1 out of 6 homes on the market sells each month. That means 5 homes do not. Your goal as a seller is simple: be that one. And that comes down to pricing, condition, presentation, and strategy, not hope. Sellers that are winning in this market are doing 3 things. They're pricing correctly from day one. They invest in professional photography, staging, exposure, and 360 tours. And they launch strong in the first 2 weeks on the market. The biggest mistakes that I'm seeing are pricing that are based on emotion, using poor photography and photos, restricting showings. That means things like I can only show between 3 and 4 p.m., etc., and ignoring market feedback. And what that means is after every showing, I make sure I contact the showing agent to find out the feedback from not just the buyer's perspective, but also the agent that showed, because that helps us to know in real time what buyers and their agents are thinking about the property and what we can adjust to make sure that the next person who comes through doesn't give us that same feedback. Remember, hope is not a strategy, data is. Right now, buyers, you have the leverage again. This is one of the healthiest markets that we've seen in years. You can now negotiate. You can ask for closing costs. You can include inspections. You can take your time to find the right home. The mistakes that buyers are making, however, are they're waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect home. If the payment works and the home fits your needs and the price is fair, that is your moment. You can refinance later. You can't buy yesterday's home tomorrow. As promised, I am now at the stage where I'm going to highlight one of the 2 communities that are in the Citrus County area. The first one I'm going to talk about is Black Diamond. Black Diamond right now has 30 plus months of inventory, which is very high, and sales volume are reflecting that as well, with only 1 home sold and closed in the last 30 days, and currently there's only 1 home pending. But there are opportunities and realities for both sides of the coin here. For sellers, that means your pricing must be notably competitive, not just fair. You may even want to consider including golf memberships or furnishings or other incentives to compete against the other homes that are selling. And as always, professional marketing is an absolute essential. Do not expect that your home will sell in just a few days because the competition and the slow amount of sales. Be patient for the extended time that you will have on the market when you are priced well. And most of all, be flexible on terms and negotiating, because that can make the difference. Excuse me. If you are a buyer, there's a significant opportunity for you right now because of the market bending in your favor. This is really a true buyer's market, and you have exceptional negotiating power in the Black Diamond community. You have sellers that are motivated to make deals happen. You also have time to conduct your due diligence, and you will realize this is ideal for you for long-term lifestyle focus. The other community I want to discuss today is Citrus Hills. Right now, it is a strong buyer's market in Citrus Hills community. There's heavy competition with 145 homes currently listed for sale. This is single family homes only. There are 28 homes that are pending under contract, and we had 15 homes sold in the last 30 days. So right now, sellers, your success requires that you be different and excel in your execution and marketing. For buyers, we also want you to know that you have multiple options across multiple price point ranges and home styles. You're in a no pressure environment because you have a lot of homes to choose from, as I just told you, and you have a lot of room to negotiate on pricing, repairs, and closing costs. Remember, this community has great lifestyle, so when you're a seller, market that lifestyle and make sure you're competitively positioned against all the other homes that are for sale in the community. Again, for sellers, I want to reiterate the biggest mistakes that you're making right now in Citrus County. You're using old market pricing in a new market. Don't anchor yourself to the 2021 and 2022 comparable sales prices, etc., and don't delay in making that price adjustment for weeks and months. Once a house begins to sit for too long, it kind of develops a negative connotation in the minds of buyers. So we don't want to do that. Another thing, sellers, is don't ignore the current inventory. And while you're on the market, there's always inventory coming on and off the market that you need to be aware of. And number one, do not price your home emotionally. We know you live there and you did all these great things to it, but at the end of the day, the market value is the market value, and we want to see you succeed. Hey, buyers, the biggest mistakes that you guys are making is waiting for the perfect moment. You're paralyzing yourself by analyzing the market and theorizing that it may be a better one. I keep hearing it. Rates may drop next quarter, but what if the perfect home comes on the market next month, Anne Marie? Listen, these are reasonable questions, but they can prevent you purchasing a home indefinitely. Right now in the market, there's a lot of inventory, as I mentioned. If the numbers work and you find a home that's affordable, fairly priced, and a monthly payment is comfortable, that is your signal that it is time to act. So don't second guess, stop waiting for perfection, and get into home ownership, and let's get out there and find you the right home. So here's the biggest takeaway before we end today. Citrus County is not one market. Some communities are extremely buyer friendly, others are still competitive, and two homes 5 miles apart can perform very differently. That's why generic advice does not work anymore. If you're thinking about buying or selling, you need a strategy based on your neighborhood, your price range, your competition, and your goals. If you're ready to have that conversation, reach out to me. I'd love to help you navigate this market the smart way. Remember, buyers and sellers, every property and every buyer is unique. These statistics that I just shared with you covered important context, but your specific situation requires customized analysis and strategy. So let's talk about that neighborhood you're living or want to purchase in, design a custom strategy for you, look at the data, and make sound decisions. I'm Anne Marie Bortz with the Kais Company, and I want to thank you again for watching. And remember, if you'd like a copy of what you saw on the screen today so that you can analyze it more, just give me a call or shoot me an email. Let me know you want the January 2026 market report for Citrus County, and I'll get a copy over to you. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching again, and I will see you for next month's report.